Good evening, sports fans. It's Ryan here for the Sunday Night Super League. I'm absolutely delighted to say that we are joined by the man, the legend, Aster Athletic boss, Alf Bridge. How you doing, Alf?
Fine, thank you. Evening all.
Evening. I can just see a few people kind of moving into the chat now. Mr. Mega Horse is there. Evening, Mr. Mega Horse. Greavesy, Mr. Edwards, Mr. Campbell, all there. For anyone who's, it's only a few people here so far, but do make sure you keep up with the Swamp FA. There's a new kind of a new league going round, and what do you call it? And it was absolutely fantastic for a few shows. And Mr. Mega Horse really up there. Only bad thing about it is that the Phoenix didn't win. Um, what else is happening? Let's have a quick look at the results from last time, Alf. You went down 3-1 to Leadersford. Not in the best of form at the minute, are you?
No, but looking at me player ratings, I've not done too bad. Again, quite a few sevens maybe, and they're not too bad. Yeah, eights, sevens. So the performances have been decent really, but keep getting beat. So um,
Yeah, only
yeah, we've not
one win
changed
in the
much
two
tonight.
now.
Yeah, we've not changed much tonight. So yeah, we're scoring the odd goal, but we're letting a few wins. So. Yeah, so we've changed things a little bit tonight, come with a still narrow but slightly different system. That's not the one. No.
That's the way that's last week, isn't it? What else happened last week, eh?
Yeah,
Just a lot of goals, and the Dragons finally kind of get off their losing streak and beat Gazelles 5-3. That was an entertaining game.
yeah. It's, yeah, bit surprising that one, Dragons. Yeah, the way it's going, they're going to finish up bottom. All these teams are doing well.
Yeah, the other big scoring game and big moving and shaking at the top was from Spartak Sloths as they managed to put five past them, the meanest defence in the league of Lokomotiv Boston. As a bit of a shock. Goals from the absolutely fantastic David Collins and I think two assists for Zé Roberto, and he's kind of extending his lead at the top of the assist column.
Yeah,
They're a force to be reckoned with this season. A different animal this season, aren't they, Sloths?
that was a very good performance. But again, the goalkeeper for Boston, I had Bartes, and he's liable to throw one of those in every now and again.
Yeah, he's not really done that this season though, is he? I think that must be his
No,
first
no, he
one.
does. Yeah, he's like that though. I suppose most keepers are like that in the Super League. They throw the odd bad one in and lost the game.
Yeah, it's a kind of a part of champ, isn't it? Every now and again, your keeper has
Yeah,
a. Some keepers have
yeah.
absolute worldies, other keepers have nightmares. Looking ahead to tonight, obviously not going into too much detail as we'll go through the games as they happen. But any particular games you're looking forward to tonight, Alf?
The last two, spicy. My own game. It's a vital one for me, and then the big one at the bottom, Devils and Sparta.
Yeah, that should be a good game. First versus second. Yeah, Locomotive after conceding five last week, and Dragons scored five last week, so that could be an interesting one as well. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I
Could
said that would
be.
have been nailed on home victory, but maybe not so much anymore.
Ladysford, Churchtown, yeah.
They're
Hmm.
all they're all big games in the Super League, aren't they? They're all big games. There's a little bit of NFL chat going on
Yeah, there's
around.
a few games there vital for the playoff situation, isn't
Yeah,
there? Close together. Yeah,
I think if Leadersford knock beat Churchtown, I think that puts a bit of a gap between them. It might kind of, I don't know, if 3 points at the difference at the minute, that'd go to 31 points, and it starts creating a little bit of distance. Obviously,
yeah,
now's the
yeah.
right time to be on form. But I don't think these guys, Hulls, Fulchester, are necessarily too far away at this point in time. You would say it's highly unlikely that the Devils, Sloths, and Boston, though, who are on 35 points or above, are going to go on kind of that bad a run that means that they don't qualify now. 7 games left, they probably need 5 points. So, I
Right.
mean,
But, yeah. Well, Dudley are not out of it. They're on. Yeah.
no, not at all. Never a Haggis, in my opinion. Haggis, well capable of putting a run together, and they're on
I
a
guess
lot better form than they were.
in and out a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Even to Stephen Wright, Kieran Collins in the chat, Rob's in as well. We've got a few in
Yeah.
here now. I can see we've got 15 viewers, so let's crack straight on. Um, I was going to go in game order, but I'm conscious that Dudley Hill always seem to be on first. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Gazelles first, if that's okay. Have a quick look at how they line up. Alf, you've done a little bit of research on CM Scouts before the show. You've had a look at Gazelles and you've analysed the last. You talk us through what you've done, Alf, and how you've got to your kind of scout ratings and therefore predictions.
Yeah, well, for every team, I've been into CM Scout, and I've rated every player from the teams of the previous week, because I've only
Yeah.
had one or two in for this week, so it's a little bit of guesswork. But it's come out with some interesting results. So what I've done, I've tallied them all up, every player, and I've come up with an average rating for the team. So I'm going to pit that rating against each other and see how it shapes up. And I'm going to give a prediction as a result of that. So we'll see how it shapes.
So
Gazelle,
Gazelles this week, what was their average, and have you got them down to win tonight? And it's based on this team from last week.
the Gazelles was averaging 76.08. And I think they're missing a key player. Are they not? Did you mention earlier on?
Yeah, they are. It's an interesting decision from
Yeah.
Craig. He got a
Yeah.
7 last time out, but they did concede 5 goals,
Yeah.
and he's dropped Lucio out of the squad. Obviously,
Mm.
he's been pretty much an ever present this season. It's an interesting decision. He's obviously Rio Ferdinand's come back in, and Marino scored last time out. So he's decided to kind of keep with him, but it's definitely an interesting decision, which is a brave decision maybe against Fulchester. What do you like the look of the Gazelles lineup? He's
Yeah.
going to change his formation again.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the formation's formation's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Too good up front. Yeah. 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 Nothing wrong with that. But we'll see it. And Cafu, of course, they're on the wing backs. Yeah, it's a good formation. But we'll see how it comes out in the ratings.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get with. Never going to
Mm.
know what you're going to get with Gazelles. They sometimes are fantastic, other times they just don't turn up. They've got a few
Yeah.
players like that. Right, let's
Yeah.
go back to that. Kieran Craig. Continue that. I think they look strong enough there. And tonight they are against Fulchester. Fulchester have gone unchanged from their narrow victory over Haggis last week. They kind of ground that one out in the second half, just kind of kept it tight. Definitely not,
Mm.
kind of piling the pressure on Haggis throughout the game, but Mac has stuck with it. What do you think of this one, Alf?
Yeah. Formation. Yeah, that suits his players. That's fine. Now, in this one, I've got an average rating of 80. So there's a big difference between the two in this one. Um, he's got some 4 or 5 very good players in the side according to my rating, so it could make a difference in this game. And I'll give you the correct score of what I think it will be afterwards. But yeah, Fulchester, yeah, looking good. And they were my tip to win the Super League anyway. So I'll give my prediction afterwards when you've finished, Ryan.
No problem at all. I was to say about if you look at the scout ratings, I believe that Rivaldo and Owen are going to be very, very high on CM Scout. Not necessarily not necessarily known world beaters in the Super League though, so it could be an interesting one to see if they
No, his
deliver.
top ones. Look at it now. The spreadsheets. Top ones are Veron,
Of course, yeah.
Giggs, and Buffon are his top 3 key players. So yeah.
You see that Hodgie's in the chat though, saying that you're busting myths already.
So
Right.
did you want to the
Do you
correct
want to
score?
give your prediction ahead of kickoff, or do you want to wait? Shall I look some
I'll,
predictions in the
I'll,
chat as well?
I'll give my correct score, shall I, Ryan?
Yes, go for it. What do you reckon?
I'm going for Gazelles 1, Fulchester 3.
Fulchester 3, because Fulchester haven't been great away from home this season, got one of the worst away records in the league, and Gazelles did beat them at Fulchester, actually. Gazelles one of the few teams to go to the C-suite and get a victory. 2-1, I believe. Looking at predictions in the chat, Steve Wright's going to 2-1 Fulchester. Greavesy win 2-0, Mega Horse going 1-0, all for Fulchester. Mr. Edwards going for a Desmond, Fifey going for a Fulchester win, and Alf has used his ratings to come up with a 3-1 victory for Fulchester. Interesting that even though Gazelles won the first game at Fulchester, they're definitely second favourites for this one, especially after conceding 5 last time out. I'm going to kick this off. I'll keep it on, make sure I'm very fast. It looks like a lot of blue, 92% after 5 minutes. Rivaldo involved in gigs, but you've got some good players, Gazelle, so you never know what Gazelle's side you're going to turn up. Agahoum involved a lot, going back and forth here. So, yeah, Clive hitting the upright. Raul involved as well. Could go either way, this. Looks like Rivaldo missed a chance there, booking for Mario Yepes. Penalty claim turned down for Gazelles, which Craig won't be happy about. And we've managed to get to half time, and wow, not too much going on goal in the first half, Alf.
One shot on goal. That's surprising, that, with the talent he's got. Yeah.
It is incredible. And in Fulchester, it's not turning up at all. Having a bit more possession and a little bit more in their area, but not getting any shots away. There's nothing really to report. The penalty claim was there.
Mm.
Owen had a great chance and missed it high and wide. I was trying to see there was a penalty claim. I'm sure there was a penalty claim. I can't see it anywhere there. Away from
Yeah.
home, curse strikes again. Quick look at Fulchester first. Conscious that Macca is there in the chat and Craig might not be. Macca, do you want to make any changes? And it's Michael Owen who is sacrificed for Fausto Rossini after he's got 6 at half time, not putting in the best performance. I don't think he's effective though, but I understand when you've got a substitution to do at half time, you've got to take off the one who's not doing the business. It's been a challenging half. I mean, one key pass from Veron, a couple of key tackles, but this really haven't got going, have they, Off?
It's a pretty average performance, isn't it, really? And I think they've got to do a better second half. I think they will do. Mm.
Do you want to talk us through a relatively solid, if unspectacular, Gazelles performance first half? Some good performances in there.
Yeah, one of his star men there, Yadamis, he's doing well. Rio Ferdinand. It's a lot of sixes though, a lot of sixes. So it's still
Yeah.
an okay. Mm.
He stuck with Mourinho and Ferdinand. They kind of repaid him with 8s, obviously dropping Lucio may have been a little bit of a brave move. You see that a lot of his forward players though. I mean, Rails had to touch the ball 5 times and had 3 shots. Agahow not had the ball much. I mean, I look at that and the passes is very, very low. Jeremy's obviously having the best of it. You can see what his 9 rating, but yeah, I think neither team are going to be really too happy with that. So let's see if we can have a little bit more fun in the second half and get something going. I'm assuming Craig's not here for a halftime sub, and looking at all his fitness, everything's relatively high enough. So let's kick this one off and see what we get. It looks like we've got a blue straight away. Giggs, who's gone off form a little bit, involved at the start there, but it's gone back to Gazelles, and they go in front through Patrick Clivett. Not what Mac would like to see, and all too familiar story when he's away from home. Makalele having an effort, probably not the player Mac would want. And shots after Agahoua coming forward for Gazelles. Torricelli, Veron. It was like Fulchester are putting the pressure on here, but not really getting anywhere. Then it's actually Gazelles who have um,
Yeah,
upset everyone there, kind of thing, and probably having the best of it. Really, not what Mac would like to see. That 3 shots on goal, 1 on target in the entire game. Gazelle's clearly the stronger side, having more efforts on goal in Fulchester area and more possession as well. Let's have a quick look at how that goal went in. Medina, with a ferocious right-footed strike saved by Buffon, and Clivett put away the rebound. Good to see Clivett, his main man, getting back in the goals. And it's a relatively sound performance that from Gazelles, isn't it?
better second half performance all round, isn't it? That. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fine second half performance, and Maka will be disappointed.
That could be very disappointing. And again, Mourinho, after getting a goal last week, and he's managed to repay his faith in his manager, even though they conceded 5. with a 9 tonight and a clean sheet. I think that's a really solid performance from the Gazelles. Roy Keane and Rio Ferdinand is really solid as well.
Yeah,
A quick
really
look
very
over
happy.
at Colchester, and it's a lot of 6s and 7s with the 1/8 of her on. But yeah, it's the same old
Pretty
story
average.
for Maka when he's away from home, isn't it? It's not good enough away from home, Alf, no?
No. It's pretty average performance really, and um, yeah, that's busted these CM Scout myth really, hasn't it? In a way, that with the team I've out, and I think anyway on paper.
Yeah, so you had 3-1 for this one. It's 1-0 to Gazelles.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
0% correction rating so far, Alf. Let's see if that improves throughout the night.
We've got the goal for Gazelles.
Yeah, good performance for the Gazelles, and that's what they do. That's what they'll be happy with that.
Yeah,
Even to
yeah.
Duggan, I can see what joined us in the chat. Dimble's arrived as well. It's nice to see so many of you. I've got over 20 viewers now, which is great to see. We're not going to that game next. That's the main match at the end of the evening. Let's go to Scotland, eh? And we've got Haggis versus Hools. Haggis need to kind of start turning it on soon, otherwise they're going to kind of fall away from that playoff challenge. But a win tonight puts them right back up there in the mix. So beat by Fulchester 1-0 last time out. Need to get back scoring, and Ian's gone with this tonight. What do you make of this, Alf?
Yeah, that's there's some fine players there, isn't there, Ryan? When you look at that,
Yeah, that midfield, the players in there are
players.
fantastic. Vieira, Mendieta, Nedved Larsen, Hopland, Stammet. I mean, a centre-back partnership to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
He's took Brozek out of the team after he had a quiet game last week. He's stuck with Landon Donovan, who's been scoring in goals. Um, I mean, I think Ian will be the first to say he's had a bit of a disappointing season so far. Um, Obviously, this little bit of form he's had recently, maybe coming a little bit late. Only won 2 of the last 5, maybe not. Maybe form has been a bit generous, but
yeah. Kind of wins two and loses two.
he does, yeah. What I
Yeah.
was going to ask you, so what's CM Scout say about the Haggis team, and what rating do they get?
A decent rating for I guess on this one, 78.45. So
What are the what
that reflects the team there.
what what players were dragging that rating up? Who are the highest in on Scout for Haggis?
I guess let's have a look. You've got Vieira.
Obviously, he's either highest rated on the game, I think, apart from Oliver
Yeah.
Kahn.
Mendieta is top one there, and Netfed.
Yeah, as you'd expect, those
Yeah.
players were mentioned just a
So
second ago.
he's got yeah. So
Um,
he's got 3 solid players there.
yeah,
So
that's
it's a fairly good rating, not quite as good as Fulchester, really. So we'll have to see how this one goes, but see what Ools have got to offer then.
Indeed. Haggis went away to Hools and got the victory. One of the few teams that got the victory there, but obviously you can see that Hools got 2 red cards in that game, so maybe we shouldn't read too much into that. And he sold one of those players to you, I believe, Lucas Radaby. Let's have a look at what Jens has got for us tonight.
Yeah, he's playing his first game tonight, Raddy, by the way.
Ooh. Evening to Andrew Allen and Teto Mourinho. This is not too dissimilar from what Jens has been playing
No,
all season. He's
similar.
moved his 4 at the back to a 2 and put the wing backs up there, obviously to accommodate Liverani, who probably can't play left back. 2 great strikers up top in Van Nistelrooy and Tizalco. I think he would definitely be among the top if it weren't for that horrible start he had. What's CM Scout saying, and how do you like the look of this formation off?
Well, there's not much in this one. 77.06. He's only 1 point in this one. So, but he's got Van Nistelrooy, of course, hasn't he? There, and yeah,
Does CM
don't know.
Scout rate Maxim Tizalco? Is that something that you
He's
mean?
yeah, and he's not an highly rated player, is he, on CM Scouts? So it's an interesting one. It's a good partnership with Franco. Yeah, he's not very highly rated either, is he? Franco. So it's interesting, but he's a legend, isn't he? He's another legend. So
Yeah, so many
uh,
people have done the
it's good.
1,000 goal challenge with Tizalco as well, so he definitely can score goals.
Yeah. So I'll make this one pretty close, and I'll give you the correct score afterwards, Ryan.
Well, why don't you give us that correct score now, if you want, South?
Okay.
Haggis versus Hools, and we'll ask for some predictions in the chat. I can see Tato's gone early with a 2-1 victory for the Haggis Hunters, always backed his lads.
Yeah. Well, I've Haggis shading this one 2-1.
You've got Haggis sharing this one. Fifey's gone for a Hools win. It's nice to see the Hools in their blue and white away kit. I do like that. Steve Wright going 1-1. Mr. Edwards going 2-1 to the Haggis. 4-0 for Hools. Grievous is going. I'm not too sure where he's pulled that one from. Obviously, Mr. Campbell, I've seen him up in the chat, so he is here about. I'm not too sure I've seen Jens yet. But I'm looking forward to this one. It should be a good game. It's one of those which I do think probably Haggis need the victory more than Hools do at this moment in time. Mega Hearts going with a 1-1 and Dimble going with a 2-1 Hools victory. Let's get this one off and see how we get on. And it's a Hools starting. Plenty of time for a striker there. It looks like a lot of Hools early on. Beckham betting the ball into the box. Tizalco involved. Costanzo having to do a lot so far. It looks like a lot of Hools, doesn't it? 22 minutes in, it's been all blue and white. Nikiforenko involved. Beckham. He's done everything but score so far, and then they have scored. Sergei Nikiforenko on 32 minutes, getting the lads in front. It looks like it's continuing in the same vein. An effort just at the end of the half for Haggis there, but wow,
Oh,
that is
another.
not that is not
That's an.
what Ian Campbell would like to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one
Focus.
shot, and that was off target from the Haggis lads. Pools shots 8 shots on and 6 on target. Pretty much winning all the tackles and passes as well. It's been all in the Haggis end.
Yes.
It looks like Haggis are the away side here rather than the home side, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I guess with the team on paper should be doing better than that.
It should be definitely.
On
Nicky
effort.
Franco picks up a loose ball after Casillas parried a Nicky Franco shot, ran through unmarked. So you mean Haggis need to start marking Nicky Franco? Let's have a quick look at that Haggis performance first half. Do you want to dissect that for us, Alf?
Yeah. Similar to Colchester, really, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite a lot of sixes again, and just one chap stumbled in it together. Yeah. Yeah, must improve. Must improve, Ryan.
Must do better. Must do better. Completely
Mm.
agree. There's the two strikers as well, not doing great. Sixes there, not really been involved. One shot off target from Donovan. Lewis has barely touched the ball. Let's have a
Patrick
quick.
Vieira. Patrick Vieira is such a legend. Look at that. Yeah.
It looks like at
He's missed 4 out
Pete
of 5
Brozek's
tackles.
going to come on. How's
Yeah.
Brozek rated? He's coming on for
I,
the Haggis boy.
he's one of the average rated players. He can do a job, yeah.
Interesting, interesting. I'm not too sure if we've seen Jens anywhere in the chat. Let's have a quick look at how them lads are doing. It looks like they're all
Yeah,
not
it's a
not the
solid.
best performance from them really, is it? It's solid enough, but
It's a
considering
solid
how much
performance. Yeah,
how much domination
it's
they have,
gone.
might expect some bigger ratings there.
Yeah, that's fair enough. He's got the ball to the front middle, hasn't he? So it's not too bad. Yeah, so,
Oh,
yeah, solid performance. If he keeps that up, yeah, he'll be fine.
Jens is about in the chat and he's going as is. He'll be happy with that first half performance.
Yeah,
Um, let's see how we get on in the second half. And Brozek has come on there. It looks like we're continuing in the same vein though. A lot of blue and white, but just seen an effort from Haggis. And as soon as he done that, we did see, right, yes, Maxim Tizalco has scored for the Hools, and now Pavel Brozek, having just come onto the pitch, is going off injured again. I will, in this situation, because it's an injury, I will allow it to put Larson up top. You can probably swap Larson round and bring Rosicky on. That's what I would do.
yeah.
Does Ian want to confirm that that's what he wants to do?
Not much alternative, have you?
Not much, unless he says no in the last 2 seconds. Yeah, that's it, right. Ricky,
Rosicky, he can play up front, Rosicky, but probably better
yeah, I think
there.
you'd prefer Henrik Larsson up top though to Thomas
Yeah,
Rosicky. I think.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He can play up top. All right. Anyway, let's see how we get on and see if that makes any positive reaction. It's like Vincent Candela and Thomas Rosicky are involved early after that there. Haggis need to score soon if they're going to get back into this, but they are the better side. And Louis Saha has got one. It's going to make for an interesting last 10 minutes. It looks like it's all Haggis now. Thomas Rosicky making the difference. See a lot, 3 minutes added on, Larson going through,
Oh,
and a Nedved equaliser. 89 minutes gone, and
oh,
NDI going off injured.
oh, he's,
Not what Jens would have
he's
wanted. Let's have a quick look at
he's
what we
going to
can
miss him,
see
isn't he?
here.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, Karlstrom's the man to come on. You're just going to have to put Karlstrom in that position. It's only for a minute, isn't it? It's not like it's going to impact too much. Heart, liver, Arnie, DM. Cancel that. I should have seen that one. Ian Hart coming on for NDI. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the final whistle. Not much going on. And
No.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
2-2. I mean, both goals in the last quarter of the game. Um, Neved and Saha with the comeback goals. Ian will be delighted with that. Obviously, he'll be so disappointed with his first half performance and must have
Yeah.
thought it's all going wrong after Brozek got injured. But he's come back into it well, hasn't he? A gaff getting past
Yeah.
everyone on the right hand side and put it in to Saha, who's jumped above the keeper. And then Larson, who's moved up top, he's crossed the ball for Nedved, who's headed home. I guess the comeback kings, it's a good ratings
That
there,
was
aren't they?
a fine second half performance, isn't it? Really? Yeah. Yeah. Substitute Rosicky 8 changed the game. Ryan.
He did change the game, yeah. He's come
Mm.
on and couple of key tackle, so it's a tackle there, a couple of key passes. Henrik Larsson, who seems to have done better since he moved up front. Yap stand man of the match. I'm not too sure how that went down really, but yeah. So look at the
They
chat
must have
there. I
had.
can see Mr. Campbell saying good game, Jens, and he's saying that Haggis are shite. I don't know if it's shite, but they're not at the level that Ian wants them to be at this season. But you look at those ratings there, and you think they have a decent game. Um, but yeah, they only turned up in the last 15, 20 minutes.
Just wonder what would have happened if Rosicky hadn't come on in that game. So,
I think he might have probably earned himself a starting spot next week.
mm,
A
mm.
quick look over at the Norwegians, Alf.
Oh, Beckham.
David
Is that
Beckham.
his best position? Really? Just wondering. In that game, centre midfield. Um, Better wider. What do you think?
Yeah, he's not one of my favourite players on the game.
Not
David
central
Beckham.
midfield.
He's
Was-
got great rate stats, but just never seems to do it. And he's got a 7 rating there. Not bad, but it's probably
Yeah,
one of the lowest out of the Hulls team. When you look around, you're kicking on players that they're all scoring above a 7, aren't they? Beckham's down there with a 7. I agree. Probably centre midfield on his own isn't that his best position. Maybe not. Maybe right of a free if he was playing 4-1-3-2, that could work, or even as a right winger. But so
yeah,
few teams play right wingers in the league. Um,
yeah.
Man of the match, I believe, has gone to Yapstam, which is a bit of a surprise, maybe, considering that they conceded 2 goals. Cizalco, Nicky Franco often claim that they can't work in the same team together. They've both got on the score sheet tonight. Maybe wants a little bit more from Ruud van Nistelrooy, and maybe a little bit more from Franco Costanzo, really, considering he conceded half his shots on goal. But yeah, I think Jens there said he's
Yeah.
pleased with that point. He probably wouldn't have been pleased with 20 minutes to go, but not a bad point when you get one away from home, and it's not a defeat, and it's a playoff
Yeah,
rival who haven't won.
yes, we didn't get the correct score on that one, but I said it was going to be close, so not too bad an effort.
Not bad at all. Good evening to Chapman Swan. It was a good game. I enjoyed it myself there. Dimble saying great comeback. Completely agree. Where are we at? Should we stick with Leddersford Churchtown? I think we'll stick with Leddersford Churchtown. So let's have a look at Churchtown first, as they happen to be on screen. Nice to get a draw against the league leaders last week. Played a solid game, maybe a little bit unlucky not to get the victory. One thing that did happen though in that game was Isaac Okoronkwo, probably their best player um, this season, has picked up a knock and he's not fully fit for this game. Um, he stuck with his narrow formation. Is this something you like to look of, Alf? You generally are a fan of
Uh,
narrow formations?
I've tried that. I tried that. That's really a hybrid of the original formation, and Valen, I think, was the one who changed it to the uh, midfielders going wide. I've used it, yeah, particularly in away games. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay for an away game, I think.
Okay, I completely agree. He's gone with Nuno Gomez and Edilson up top tonight, dropping Tomadera after he's on a bit of a, not on the best form at all. I think he scored in maybe 10 games. Nuno Gomez, not really a fan of, but his stats are relatively solid and he's been okay, scoring four so far this season for Churchtown after 7 starts. Edilson, he'll be less impressive with just 1 in 5, and he's not really been great when he's been on the pitch. Surprised he hasn't gone with Jibril Cisse, who seems to be okay when he's involved, but maybe a lack of options up top there, which means Kieran's gone flat. I've seen that Kieran's in the chat, so evening to you, mate. And
Yeah.
yeah, interesting to see how we get on tonight.
And apart from Zanetti, he hasn't really got a star man in that side on my ratings, Ryan.
Oh yeah, so yeah, how the Churchtown how the Churchtown look in your ratings, Al?
Well, Ladysford, they get 70. We'll come on to them, but Churchdown, they get 74.98, which is pretty low, actually. A
Right.
lot of, on paper, average players, but as we know, they can do the job. So,
Yes.
but
Let's have a
Ladysford,
let's
right.
have a look at the, I say, relatively informed Wetherspoon. They've won the last 2 games, both away from home against Northern Burn and against yourself, Alf, scoring 7 goals in the process. Last time they played Churchtown, they were beaten. Um,
Oh,
Interesting to see how they Wetherspoon get on at home. Obviously, he's had a change in formation and gone with the two lads up top, Montella and Torres. Do you like the look of this? How do these guys play out on CM Scout off?
Ladysford are 78.04, which is pretty high. And they've got
Mm.
some outstanding players like Nestor, haven't they, in the side? They've got Montella, and he's got Simone. So yeah, he's got some three key players there that could make the difference tonight.
Yeah, he's
Particularly
also got.
Montella. Montella's is he in form, isn't he, Montella? At
Yeah,
the
he
moment.
scored a couple of goals recently. I think
Yeah, yeah,
he scored one and he got a 10 last match, and then I think he got a 10 and
yeah.
2 the week before. So he definitely is in
yeah.
form at the minute, and he's
He,
going to be a key
he,
man for Hadji as he continues his kind of march up into the playoffs and hoping to keep that top 6 spot now and maybe just build up towards that 40 point mark.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, he's the key man, I think, tonight.
He is
Mm.
indeed.
So
Let's
um,
see what happens though. So, what have you got and your prediction for this one, Al?
I'm going for a good Ladysford winning this one, 3-0.
A 3-0 Wetherspoon win. Wow.
Mm.
Was this the game I described as meh earlier in the season? I think it might have been, Fifey. I think it may have been. Um, let's have some more predictions in the chat though before we kick off. I think it's one of those that Churchtown are not in good form at the minute, and well, they haven't been in good form, and Leatherton have just started turning into good form. However, a decent performance last time out from Churchtown, so maybe not as desolate as it may seem. Dimble, I mean, everyone's going for a solid home victory here. Greaves here, Mr. Edwards, Steve Wright, and Dimble are going for victories to 0, 2 and 3. Let's kick this off. Um, I think for those chasing the playoffs, we're probably hoping for a draw or a Churchtown win to kind of stop Ladysford's charge. But let's see what happens. I thought Torres was going to score in 1 minute. Then it looks like it's all yellow though, and Torres had a couple of chances straight away. Touches from Exaberia. Looks like come back into it though, Churchtown. Sorry, Alf.
Yeah, well, Montella, what do we say? The man in
We did.
form.
The man in
Mm.
form at 13 minutes. He has scored. does look like it's going both directions. So Nuno Gomez involved, Aymar involved, and Adilson for Churchtown. Looks like they're definitely in the game, Churchtown, but they are behind. And sometimes when you go behind away from home, it can be a long game.
Mm.
Yeah, seen a lot of yellow again towards the end of this first half. Soren involved a lot on the left hand side for Lettersford. Torres, Exbaria, all involved as well. And it's wow, I did not expect
Come on.
that. I thought
I,
probably Lettersford had the better of that for the majority, but I'm clearly watching the wrong game because it's been all Churchtown. Not all, maybe not all Churchtown, but they're being robbed at half time, Alf.
didn't look that way, did it? Mm, um, yeah. I'd love to see the ratings and see how they manage that.
Yeah, all in Lettersford's area. Probably Lettersford just had a little bit more of the ball.
Yeah,
Simeone to Montella, so Hodge would be
yeah.
happy with that. Let's have a quick look at Lettersford first. They are 1-0 up. No one's playing badly, are they?
No, that's a good performance. That just 3 attempts was it on goal with those sort of performances. Strange, isn't it? Strange. Yeah. That's a good all-round performance, and the key men have done it, haven't they? Montella there. Yeah, Nicky Og. Yeah, that's a fine first half, really, isn't it? Despite the fact they've only had 3 attempts.
Yeah, key pass coming from Pat Soglu, the assist going to
Yeah,
Simeone. Solid first half from Hodge. I'm not sure if I can. I've not seen him in the chat for a while, so he may have nipped out or whatever like that. But he's not made any subs so far. But let us know, Hodge, if you do want to make any subs. Um,
mm,
quick look over to Kieran's lads, and it's a different story, really. A few more
yeah.
sixes in there, no eights and nines, which again, looking at the stats, is a bit surprising. Um,
Strange one,
it's
strange
really
one.
strange one. What's
It's
going wrong here? Is it just the fact that Huddersfield have got Montella and Churchton have got Nuno Gomez? Is that the difference?
yeah. Gomez is not. He's had some attempts, though, hasn't he? 3-2. Yeah. So um, yeah, it's mind it looks an average performance, doesn't it? That really in the first half, but there was
Yeah,
eight attempts with it. Yeah,
yeah, 8 attempts, 7 on target. So you mean
I don't
you're
know.
just
Yeah, that's
maybe all
something
right. It's
I
not a
can't work
champion,
out.
but it's not far off, is it?
I can't
Um,
work. Yeah.
let's see what
But
happens second half.
if they get those chances in the second half and take them, they could turn the game.
Hmm, completely
Yeah.
agree. Completely agree. Jens is saying that Antonio Lopez, now renamed back to his original name of Tom Madeira, is better than Nuno Gomez. I think most people would agree with that. But he
Yeah.
isn't in form, is he? And I don't think I've had any subs from the chat, so we're probably going to kick off the second half. If anyone wants a sub, then speak up quickly and I'll stop it. But let's kick off and see what happens here. And again, it's Lettersford look like they've started the quickest. Sorin all across the ball, and Torres puts it in. And Montella had another chance there. It looks like it's a long way back now with just 10 minutes to go.
Mm,
Blew
mm.
by that second half, but
Well,
there is Nuno Gomez. Let's slow this down for a little bit of tension at the end, see what happens. Adilson in the ball into the penalty
well,
area. Oh,
it,
can they do it? Can they do it?
it,
5 minutes to go. A
try
really fast second half. Aymar hits the crossbar.
it's a long 5 minutes for Eddisford.
It was a long 5 minutes. Like
Three
it was
minutes.
all sealed, but Nuno Gomez makes it interesting. We are into it, adding time now, though. Exeter in possession should be fine here now. 92 minutes gone, and there is
Oh,
the final whistle. 2-1 to Lettersford. Lettersford's winning run continues. Maybe a little bit against the run of play that one. I wouldn't say a champion, but you look at the
no,
shots on targets, and it's probably a little bit unlucky for Churchtown, who are just in the mire at the moment. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think we've had some good games so far tonight. Possession's 50-50. Let's have a quick look at how the second half goals went in. Sorin Ball and Torres up above the keeper, who's in, is it breezy? No, it's dry weather. So, yeah,
mm,
he'll be unhappy with Jens Lerman there, but he's got a solid rating. And Nikata threw the ball, and Nuno Gomez doing wonderful things, driving the ball home past I'm
Yeah,
sure.
but
But, that's,
yeah,
you mean, flattering ratings definitely for Leathersford there, considering the stats there, Al.
yeah. It's a strange one, this, isn't it? Really. Look at that. It looks like the 3-0 that I would have predicted. Um, but finished at the end a nail biter. Good performance though, hasn't it? Really, if you got those ratings, you'd expect a really good, convincing win.
Yeah, I
Mm,
completely agree. It's his two strikers have scored again. I think that's the third week on the bounce now, so Podgy will be absolutely buzzing with that. Johan Vogel getting a 9 as well. I think. Do you mean
yes,
they're the guys who've made a huge difference since he brought Torres up from the reserves and he's put Montella back in? And you
yeah.
mean these last three victories have been down to that. Man of the match though, unbelievably, goes to Nuno Gomez.
Well, I think we'd say for start, didn't we? He had his chances, and it was nearly there in the first half, and he got one in the second. 4-3. Yeah, yeah. So he was dangerous, wasn't he? Gomez
He was
was
dangerous.
dangerous. Yeah,
Looking at it's the defensive players, maybe Brett Emerson at centre back, maybe not the best decision when he's got like Ronnie Johnson, I think, in the reserves and William Vialli on the bench. Um, Interesting stats, really, because you mean they've had more
it is,
shots.
and it doesn't
It's
look
been
that
really
way.
strange, kind of how it's worked.
Yeah,
Hodgie,
yeah.
kind of Hodgie doing things to kind of secure his playoff space as well. I
He,
mean, this chasing pack. If they don't win tonight, then they're going to
mm,
start falling behind.
he'd be worried about that finish, though, wouldn't he, Odgie? He'd been sweating there. Yeah, yeah.
Indeed, indeed. Kind of this is two of the chasing pack coming up. I think I'm going to go with this game now. Dudley Hill versus Bostock. I was conscious that Dudley Hill are usually on first, so I thought what do you call it? I thought I'd hold it off a little bit. Let's start with Bostock Stanley. Looked like he just kind of got things going again. A couple of wins in 3 games against Dragons and Boston, but then he's been beaten by Gazelles and 1-1 with Northern Burn. After a
Doesn't
really strong start, Bostock have just kind of they've just been a little bit deflated recently, haven't they? Alf?
he doesn't keep clean sheets, does he? Be looking at that. Can you go back into it, Ryan? He doesn't keep many
Oh
clean sheets. Is he looking at those? There, no.
no, he's
So
not kept clean
it's
sheets.
he's going to concede again tonight, isn't it? Looking at that.
Yeah, and Dudley Hill generally score a few goals as well. They beat Dudley Hill last time though, 2-1. He's gone narrow this week. A few people going back to
Oh,
narrow after it went out of fashion for a while. Um, Very similar to the formation we've just seen from Kieran. Um,
well, hmm,
Milevsky
could
and
be
Well.
okay. Yeah, yeah. That game went close, so it could be. Yeah, yeah. Could be the
Mm.
right thing to do. Mm, yeah,
Obviously,
yeah,
he's got Big Shagger up top.
yeah,
But Andre came on and got man of the match. I think they were a little bit unlucky last week against Northern Burns. I think Scott thought they should have won that game. Um, it's a really
yeah.
solid lineup in my opinion. Obviously, he's gone a little bit more narrow this week. He's brought Zidane back into the starting lineup. Um, I mean, Maldini and Lasise should be able to keep clean sheets. Alpharopolis, am I spelling that? Alpharopolis? It's got to be Alpharopolis, yeah. I'm happy with that pronunciation. He got red carded early on, but they still managed to come away with a point. Um, let's continue. Sorry, I forgot to ask you, Alf, how do Bostock rate on CM
Well,
Scouts?
they get a decent rating, 75.87, which is it's fair rating.
And how does that compare to Dudley Hill?
Well, Dudley's formation, yeah, yeah, that's. I think that suits him, doesn't it? There, Roberto Carlos. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Tomasi. I
changed it up
like
a bit.
Tomasi. I always play Tomasi there. I like that because I think he's had Tomasi in a few positions, hasn't he? So yeah, I do like him there.
Yeah,
Um,
and
um,
no wide defenders, and he's kind of gone with three DMs to watch that. I think it's, you mean, the more you look at it, it's quite a defensive formation, but considering how they've been this season, I'm not surprised. I think it might be a debut for, or a second game for Gigu from Roma. A solid player. Carlos playing
yeah,
up on the wing. Can he play there, Alf, or is he an out-and-out defender?
yeah. He's good going forward, isn't he? So yeah, yeah, it's fine. That I think. Yeah, yeah, it's interesting that one. Yeah.
Andrea
Yeah.
Mazzantini. Alf, tell me about Andrea Mazzantini. Have you a player you're aware of?
Wasn't Tini. Just have a look, see if I can find it. No, I haven't. But he didn't play last week, did he?
I think he
Did he
did.
not?
Yeah, he brought him in and he's played him every game so far.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Yes, I found him, yeah. 75.18, which is decent for a goalkeeper. Yeah.
that's good.
And yeah, that's fine. That, yeah, you shouldn't let them down.
No worries. What's the rating overall? And yeah, and then I'll move on
Dudley,
to the.
Dudley is 78.63, so they're actually on paper a better team.
And
Um,
is that
I'm going,
reflected in your prediction for tonight?
I'm going for 3-1 for Dudley.
3-1 for Dudley. Only mini prediction I can see. I've seen Jens is saying hope for a draw. Swindon Devils boss Paolo Montero. Stephen Fife saying Hart says Dudley. Head says Bostock. Dimble's going for a 2-0 home win. They're going to need a continuation of the form of Ronaldo and to kind of get over that 2-0 defeat last time out. Obviously, Bostock won at home. So it'll be interesting to see if they can continue that away from home. Mr. Edwards going for a 3-1 victory. Let's get this off on and see what happens. And I've seen Zidane Mileski involved early on. There's Gugu playing it to Crespo. I've seen Carlos getting the ball in there. Looks like both teams are having chances. Oh, Hernan Crespo injured. It looks like it's a straight swap there for Mark Viduka. He's not going to put Alex on, is he, at that position?
Yeah, a
Let
bad
me,
thing.
let me just confirm that with thingies. That's what I would do in this situation. Steve Wright, tell me if that's wrong, mate. Tell me if it's wrong. Obvious, right? He could have put Ronaldo up top and Alex behind, I suppose. But right, let's continue. 24 minutes gone. Looks like both teams are having chances. Sergio Conceição missed the target there. I've seen Zidane's name mentioned a few times as well, which probably means he's going to pick up a six. Welsh involved, John Welsh. I bet he's not highly rated on scouts.
Oh, yeah.
And there's Milevski at the goal, 39 minutes, and Scott will be happy with that one. Looks like it's been both ways, the action. Yes, it has been both ways, but it looks like Dudley Hill have had the better of it. 6 shots, 3 on target, and Bostock 3 shots, 2 on target. Quick look at the action zones, relatively level, but more possession for Dudley Hill. Kind of against the grain, that one. It's a big game, this one tonight. And it's an Eto chip the ball ahead of into the penalty area ahead of Mileski. What Mileski's doing up there, I have no idea, but Scott be glad he's there. And he struck the ball on the half volley into the back of the net. Let's start with Bostock as they've got the lead. Solid first half performance, Alf?
Not the greatest, but it's solid, isn't it? Yeah, keeper's played well. Um,
Obviously,
yeah,
Scott's a big
no,
fan of Andre. He brought him in for the Chudley Cannons last season, didn't he? And he's sought him out again this time round. He's one of Scott's favourites.
yeah, it's front two have been disappointing.
Yeah, he won't be happy with that, will he? Big Shagger only touched 5 passes there, no shots on target, no shots at all. Alan Smith, six passes and no shots. Not good enough, really. He's only had 3 shots. He's one coming from Zidane, who, surprise, surprise, gets a 6 for the first half performance. Mileski been probably his best player there with the goal. Eto again getting another assist. He's had quite a few assists this season. I think he's probably up second up there.
Yeah,
Interesting to see if Scott makes any subs at half time. Everyone's relatively fit. Let's look across the road to the home side, Dudley Hill, and it's a similar story, Alf, isn't it? But they're behind.
it's anybody's game, isn't it? Look at that. Yeah, a few more sixes perhaps there, isn't he? No outstanding player there, is there? At all making a mark.
No, and
Hmm.
Damiano Tomasi getting a 6 and no one touching the ball 6 times is not what we want. There's been a request, Alf, and it's up to you whether you want to oblige to this, but Dimble's asked if you can call Christian Vieri Big Shagger. Is that something you'd be happy with? We'll
He'll
pass.
score.
We'll pass on that one, Alf, shall we?
He'll,
um,
yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, disappointing performances there, isn't there, really? You look at Tomasi and, yeah, some of the big guns. Yeah, Ronaldo. Viduka, he's, I said that Bostock, didn't I, that they don't keep clean sheets, but they have done so far. Feeling that Viduka might change that. I think he
Hmm.
might pop one in second half.
A
He's
prediction,
been
obviously, you went with a 3-1 home victory,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
pretty sure. Um, yes, so sixes and sevens, both managers going as is for the second half. So let's kick this one off
Yeah.
and see how we get on. And there's Viduka rifling a volley over the bar. Zidane involved again. Carlos, who seems to have a lot of the ball first half, is involved again. 60 minutes gone. It looks like Bostock are having chances more than Dudley Hill at the moment, which is not what Steve Wright will be wanting to see. Big Shagger involved again. Needs a goal now. 15 minutes to go. 10 minutes to go. I mean, Tony Adams could have got a goal there. I'm just going to go to fast speed just to build up the tension. It seemed like a pretty fast second half there. Might have been a yellow card there for Tomasi, but not at all. So let's see what else there. 5 minutes to go. Davids crosses the halfway line. No, there's not too much happening, is it? Not too much happening with Zidane. Can he get? Oh,
Oh, well,
a worldie from Zinedine Zidane. Looks like
about time.
Zinedine Zidane's finally arrived in the Super League. Maybe let's hope he arrives in the Swamp FA for the Phoenix. But at 95 minutes, and Bostock have done the double over Dudley. Um, they had
Close. Yeah,
they've had a lot better second half, haven't they? More shots on target, more shots as well after maybe a disappointing first half.
yeah.
In the action areas as well, even though a lot of the game was played in midfield. More possession for Dudley Hill. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, it's like a world class goal from Zinedine Zidane. He's gone past Ayala and Gigu and then smashed it in low from 20 yards. That's a great performance from Zinedine Zidane. Only picks up a 7 though, and they've got that elusive clean sheet off.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Bound to happen, that, wouldn't it? That's right.
It's amazing how
Sprinkle,
many times that we flag
games.
up a player and then they turn a performance like that. It's incredible. But
Yeah.
your TM Scout predictions didn't really go to plan, did they?
That,
They're not going to
that,
plan. Have you got one right yet, Alf, apart from Leathersford?
no, no, the completely opposite, I think. That's pretty average, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
not, yeah.
sevens across the board and not many touches for his strikers. It looks like he's not had much chance feeding the ball to them, but a lot of touches for his midfielders. Good games from Riquelme, Zidane, Eto'o, and I mean he's got the clean sheet and a 2-0 victory, so Scott will be buzzing with that. Someone who won't be happy, despite a few eights in there, is Steve Wright. It's not what you need when you're on a kind of a playoff charge. Is a home defeat. That's two nil defeats on the bounce, and it looks like after a little bit of an upturn in form, Dudley Hill are back in the mire. Um, I mean, they've
Yeah,
lost 2-0 and his best players have been his defenders off, haven't they?
yeah, but looking at that with 4 8s in the side, it doesn't look bad, does it, really? And a lot of sevens, wouldn't it? Does it? It's hard to see how they lost that one, isn't it, really, when you look at that again on paper. It's not played on paper. Yeah,
No, it's not played on paper. And I mean, it's an interesting one that you look at. It's probably got better ratings overall than Bostock gets.
yeah,
Bostock have got the 2-0 victory and
yeah.
probably in the second half, especially they were the better team. There we are. There we are. We're not going to that game next. That's our main event for the evening. What's our fixture list looking like? Northern. No, it's locomotive time, isn't it? Is it time for us to do the locomotive, Alf?
Locomotive. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, yeah, locomotive, dragons. Yeah, yep.
So, after being rock solid at the back and getting a lot of clean sheets, they've managed to concede 7 goals in the last 10 goals in the last 3 games, including 5 in the last game away at Spartak Slavs. Last time they played Dragons, it was a 1-0 tight affair. This time they're at home. Greavesy is going with this formation. What's the CM Scout rating first, Alf, and then what do you make of this lineup?
Locomotive. Pretty decent, 76.82. Yeah. Locomotive. Cannavaro, Starman there. Amoroso. Yeah. Is he? Does he score goals? Amoroso, is he a good attacking player? I don't
I like
know.
Amarosa. I think
Don't
he's
know.
really solid. He's considering his. I mean, I don't think
Yeah,
his stats are fantastic, but he always seems to do well for me. 6 goals,
he's
5 assists, 7.68 rating. I don't think
he's
Greavesy can complain at that.
he's lived up to his rating, hasn't he? Then, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's fine, that one. Yeah,
Fine. How does Ricardinho, who's been one of his key men this season, how does he stand up to the CM Scout analysis?
he doesn't. He doesn't actually. No. For some reason, he's only rated around 70, which is I don't know what he looks like on the his actual player sheet. I don't know.
Starting up, I mean,
It,
look at that. I mean, 12
it's
games, 7 goals, 2 assists,
better,
2 man of the match.
he looks better than that, doesn't he? Really? Yeah, yeah. Um, he's got some mix, doesn't he? Marks there. Yeah, yeah. He's fairly lowly rated, though. I don't know how he performs actually. What's his rating? Average rating so far? Ryan, can you see
Pardon?
that? What's his average rating so far in the season?
7.5.
Yeah, yeah. He's doing better than better than his ratings. Yeah, good.
Indeed, indeed. Let's proceed and have a look at Dragons, who, and conversely to Locomotive, actually scored 5 goals last week rather than concede them as they overcome the Dragons. 2 goals from Archie back, Andres D'Alessandro and Batistuta getting off the goals, as well as Zay Elias. Um, I think he's gone with the same, similar lineup. I can't even remember what he's
Well,
playing, to be honest with you. But he's stuck with a 4-1-3-2 with Ibrahim Seed at the back. You wouldn't want to change too much after a 5-3 victory, would you, Al?
no, it's a standard default one, isn't it? That one. Yeah, yeah. No. Yeah. Two. Yeah. Good strikers. Midfield. Boya. Kaka. Yeah. Yeah. Johnson's very highly rated. Yeah. Some people don't actually rate him as a player on this game, do they? Yeah. He's highly rated on CM Scout. Ronnie Johnson.
Yeah, he's one of those. I think of those people
Yeah.
who, those idiots who support Man United often sell him when they start with Man United. But there we are. There we are. So what's Scout say for this one,
Like
Alpha?
this is
Dragons.
this is probably the closest of all. This one, 77.32. Two very, very close sides here on the ratings.
Is that reflected in your prediction for the evening?
Yeah, it's going to be 1-1.
1-1. Couple of 1-0s in the chat. Jens Anderson and Ian Edwards going for a 1-0. Let's have a quick look. Fifey talking out of his arse again. Got a feeling I need a favour from Dragons tonight. I don't know what he needs a favour for. Champ Mega Horse has gone with a 0-0. Swindon Devils is going for a key men missing, but I'm going for 2-1 to the Dragons. Dimble going for a 1-0 victory, as is Steve Wright. Andrew Allen going for a 3-0 Locos. A lot of love for the locomotion. Let's kick this one off and see what we get. And it starts with a lot of pink. Amoroso Ricardinho involved. And Amoroso on 2 minutes, or 3 minutes, should I say, breaks the deadlock. Not what Dragons will want to see. There's no forward arrow on Ibrahim Said, and it looks like Archie back had a chance there, but didn't manage to take it. Gabriel Batistuta hasn't been doing Gabriel Batistuta things this season. A lot of back and forward here. I've seen Amoroso has been involved a lot for Locomotive. Franca involved as well. Still 1-0 though. It looks like Dragons hit the crossbar, and Archie back has equalised on the stroke of half time. The lads in Wales will be happy, or the lads from all around the place, the three-headed dragon. Let's have a quick look at the stats, and it looks like Dragons have been on top, really. Locomotive just having a slight dip in form at the minute, which is not what we want at this point of the season. We need to get that back before the playoffs start, and before, to make sure he secures his position in the playoffs. A lot of the ball's been around the Locomotive area, even though they've had more possession. 5 shots on target to 2. Look at the match report for the goals, and Inzaghi heads the ball towards goal, saved by Oliver Kahn and then finished by Amoroso. And then have a quick look and it was a big move here from Dragons, started by Archie back, D'Alessandro, on at Ricardinho, then plays the ball to Bowyer, and Bowyer found back in the area with the goal. Good half for Dragons, even if it's not reflected in the stats there, Alf.
Yeah, I think I'll declare at half time on this one with the correct score.
You're cashing out, Alf. What you're doing, you're cashing out at half time. You've got your 1-1.
Yeah, I've got,
You put your
yeah.
tenner on. It's offering you 25 quid at half time. You're taking it and running, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm cashing my coupon in. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Yeah, it's just pretty average, really, isn't it? Um,
Not spectacular at all.
oh,
Sixes from these wide players, Bowmer and Finger. Duggan's
yeah,
saying that they're going to stay as is, but I mean, I can imagine you won't change it. There's no injuries there, and they've got the one apiece. Let's look across. They've not touched the ball that much, have they? So many teams first half don't seem to touch the ball that much. And it's a similar story to Dragons, really. It's not only 1-7 in that first half for Coladza, the rest is sixes and eights. So some players in like Amoroso and Pancaro or Amalo turning up. Other players, not so much. These two strikers on six is probably saying a lot, even though Inzaghi's only had his one shot has been on target. Why have the Locomotive lads lost a bit of form of recent, mate?
no, you'd think, wouldn't you, that if the other players turn up in the second half, Riccardino and Inzaghi, that they'll win this game, wouldn't you? That's what you'd think if they turned up. But
It's a
mm,
big if though, and Dragons will be buoyed after their victory last week, and they've got off the mark just before half
yeah,
time, a crucial time to score. So let's see what the second half throws at us. It's starting off with Ricardinho in quite a bit of pink, and Amoroso involved as well. Um, Zoe and Bowman getting involved though as well. A lot of yellow there for a few minutes. 61 minutes gone. Lewison yellow card. It's like either side could get it. Franco having a good chance there for locomotion. Um, Contra involved, and there is that man Ricardinho, who's just the man in form at the minute, and he's put
yeah,
locomotion up 2-1 with 15 minutes to go. It looks like there's still more pink as well going through, but there's Kaká involved for thingy, and we are close going into the last 10 minutes, so let's slow it down. Contra shoots Ricardinho with a follow up. Oliver Kahn showing safe hands. Dragons are going to have to do it quickly if they are to come back from this. It doesn't look like they've got much possession though at the moment. Boyer picking it an old Kaká, plenty of time. Oh, like Lee Boyer missed a bit of a sitter there. Kaká's offside, and we're moving to the last minute now, and it looks like Locomotion back in control. It is
chance.
the last chance saloon here for Dragons. Can they do it? Can they do the playoff chances of a favour? Doesn't look
Mm,
like they can.
mm,
Locomotive pulled on for a 2-1 victory. Quickly looking at the stats, probably deserved as well. They've had the better of the game. 8 shots on target to Dragons is 5. Um, yeah, action zone's relatively even, but Locomotive had more possession. Let's have a quick look at
mm,
how that winner went in from Ricardinho. Yeah, Contra turned the ball into the area, and Ricardinho unmarked and put in. Yeah, good game that one, quite enjoyable. Have a quick look at the away side first, and Oliver Kahn, who's been absent without leave for a lot of the season, has turned up tonight, but it's not enough for Dragons. Not terrible ratings, but not bad, not good defensive ratings. Ibrahim Saeed 6, Wilfred Bowen at 5, Ronnie Johnson at a 6. Not what the Dragons lads will have needed, and then not enough going forward really. Only one goal in that game for them. Oliver Kahn, the pick of the bunch. Man of the match goes to Amoroso, who we were talking about pre-game, Alf.
yeah, yeah. They did turn up second half, didn't they? Some of the other players. Yes. Yeah, yeah, they did. They did. Yeah, made a difference with the others. Helped it out in the second half. Big difference.
Yeah, I think there'll
Yeah,
be
they
a bit
all
of
came to the
relief.
party in the second half. Yeah, yeah,
There'll
yeah,
be a bit of relief
yeah,
from Greavesy, I think, from
yeah.
his because he's had a couple of frustrating performances. Um, really good. I mean, Amoroso, Riccardo at the goals. They've been two of his form players this season. Can't really complain about that. Only Cannavaro and Lewison with sevens. The rest have got above that. Franca, I think he must have put in as a bit of a favour. Not really doing the job, but I mean, Greaves would be happy to get back to get back to winning ways.
Yeah, I think Rick and Dino had a 6 at half time, and memory serves me correctly, and finished up with a 9. So he did turn up.
Mm.
Yeah, it made a difference. It's a shame for Jamie because he put a good performance in there against that. But when you're at the bottom, that's what happens.
Mm.
Mm.
There's a bit of a break from the norm as we move on now. Usually the Colcoms go on last, but considering the last game on our list is Sloss versus Devils, and we wanted to kind of give that a bit of a build up, you've agreed to go on sixth as you travel to Northern Burn. You're still happy with that, aren't you?
Yep, yep.
And from your sheet you sent me with your scout ratings on off, it seemed that Northern Burn have got a pretty solid 11, haven't they?
Yes, yes. I've got them rated at 78.76, which puts them among one of the top teams tonight.
Yeah, I think that's I think second or
Yeah.
third in the third in the league according to the scout ratings. Obviously not as high as I think as Fulchester and Dudley Hill, but definitely up there. Do you like the look of this lineup though? He's gone with Ian
Yeah,
Robin, centre midfield. Is that something you like?
a little bit feared of the white Zambrotta line really, with me playing narrow again. Um, yeah, I think we could match them though. We'll see. But yeah, it's a good solid team, isn't it? That yeah, Henri, of course, my old boy,
Yeah.
bound to score against his old club.
Yeah. He's similar to Haggis in a way that basically he's got really strong players in that midfield
Yeah,
diamond there, but they haven't really done the business this season. So let's
no.
see how they get on. And Alf, how do your guys stack up on CM Scout?
Average. 76.05. It's pretty average, but as people know, these are not my best players. I'm just trying a few out. In week 21, it'll be a lot different. But I'm hoping we can still do a good job tonight, and with this formation especially.
You're sticking with Alan Shearer, who's not been on the best of form
I'm
since he arrived.
sticking with him only because it's the old boy scoring against his old team against, and that's
Ah, right.
he wouldn't be playing.
Okay, okay. Obviously, Maserazzi and Radaby. I think this is his second appearance, Radaby.
Yeah,
Obviously, this
I'm
nice
not
to see
sure
that
that.
a couple of the players that you brought in, you're actually playing. Maserazzi, I think you brought in as well from Northern Burn.
Yeah, strongest centre back really, but if we can keep them away from their attackers, should be all right. There's a bank of 3 midfielders. uh,
So your four signings from this season all start. As you said, this isn't your strongest 11. You've got a lot of your better players in the reserves. So let's see what happens. A lot
I'll
of
make it
orange on
this.
display.
I make on paper this one. I'd make this one a win for Northern Burner 3-1.
But what does your heart say? I'll surely your heart says an Aster win.
My heart's going 3-1 to me.
So 3-1 to Burn is the head, 3-1 to Aster is the heart. No problem at all. Northern Burn 3-0 is the prediction from Swindon Devils. Andrew Allen's going for a 2-1 Northern Burn. One apiece from Jens, 3-0 Northern Burn from Dimble, and 2-0 from Sirite. So you're not getting much love in the comments, Al, but let's see how your guys do as we kick off the game. Northern Burn look to have started pretty quickly, actually. Ian Robin involved, and they scored an early goal, and it's
Oh,
that man Thierry Henry. I'm sorry,
typical.
Al. Oh, and there's a
Typical.
second. Mark Van Bommel has got a second, but then, as Ian Edwards will be recoiling in horror, as after 10 minutes, at 2-0 up, Gattuso has got himself sent off. So I will await further instruction from Mr. Edwards. I'm sure he has a plan for every eventuality. 2-0 up, he might go to take move everyone back one. What do you mean move everyone back
Well, he's got a good
one? As
lead, hasn't he?
in,
So,
does he mean this? I don't know. He means. Be more specific, Ian, if you don't mind. Could take Nerval off. I don't know. Does he want to make any subs or keep it as is? Yes, Ryan, keep going. Right. So let's try and do what I think he wants us to do, and then he can tell me if it's right or not. . Is that correct, Ian? Just give me a thumbs up, Ian. Perfect. Right. Let's go. 2-0 up. Let's see how Northern continue. You need does that red card give you some hope, Alf?
Not really. Still don't score.
There's Alan Shearer having an effort there. Looks like you're getting involved. Shearer and Shevchenko's name being mentioned a bit. Looks like you might need one before half time, though, to kind of give it. Oh, and that's not what you wanted. Alessio
No,
attacking evening things up 5 minutes before half time.
just Raymond to the side.
Yeah,
That's all.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and I think the happiest person at this point in time might be Mr. Edwards now.
Oh,
The penalty as well, which
mm,
Matej Kezman has put away. Not good watching, Alf, I'm afraid. 3-0 down at half time, and it looks like, if anything, Northern Burn might have more. But Shevchenko was involved there for a brief moment, and a full house at the Furnace has seen their team romp to a 3-0 victory at half time. I'll quickly look at Northern Burn first, so Ian can make any changes if he wants. Don't think he will, though. It's majority of 8s and 9s. The rest of his players are all fit. Um,
yeah.
Assists
Yeah.
coming from Ian Robin, which you'd be glad to see. His stats, he's so not good goalkeeping out there. 5 and 5 shots on target. 3 of those are going in the back of the net. Let's have a quick look at the goals. Robin near post from the left. Henri gets above. Shearer tried to beat Gattuso. Gattuso dangerous two-footed challenge to get the red card. Robin again in the area for Van Bommel. And then the third one was a penalty after Takinadi barged into Kesman. That's maybe a harsh red card off.
Yeah, it's not the first time he's done that this season.
Is that his second
Yeah,
red? Interesting.
I think so. I think he's done. Oh, yeah. I think the same thing as well.
Not good, not
Well,
good. He's picked up a 4 rating there.
that's
Um,
awful. Yeah, that's awful. Yeah,
that is probably the worst we've seen tonight. 6s and 5s, Alf.
seen all season. Yeah. Uh,
Where's it going wrong? And do you want to change it up at all?
no, no. Leave them now. Just no. Nothing. No, carry on. They won't. They won't be here next in week 21. Most of those.
Fair enough, fair enough. I believe Mr. Edwards is saying as is, and I think I can understand why with all the 8s in there and a 9 from Ryan Robin, who's been absolutely fantastic doing a job in centre midfield. Alf will be hoping for maybe a surprising comeback, but it's not looking like it's on the cards at the moment. You'll need Shearer and Shevchenko to get involved if it is, though. Zambrotta in possession for Northern Burn. Looks like his wide players are doing well with the lack of wide players at Aster. There's Marco Del Vecchio, though, maybe a way back into the game for Aster. Um, um, 25 minutes to go. Shearer getting involved. A lot of orange for Aster, but that's not what you needed. Another penalty given away and another one put away by Matej Kezman. Um, yeah, 4-1 now, and the kind of over as a spectacle. Mehmet Scholl has a goal disallowed, and Alan Shearer has one disallowed. You're not having much luck tonight, Alf, are you?
It should be 4-3. Yeah.
When it rains, it pours. That is very unfortunate. 2 disallowed goals for Aster Athletic. Um, oh my God, you've actually had more shots than them.
Unbelievable. 4-1. Uh,
Not, you've not played that bad off, have you? It's not.
no,
Maybe it's definitely flattered Northern Burn, that hasn't it?
it's been the story all season. That yeah, not played bad, but getting beat. And of course, the only game the CM scouts right is this one.
Yeah. Danielson hits it in low. Toledo parries. Del Vecchio puts it away for that goal. And Radaby sent Norval to the floor with a hard tackle, and Casman again clinical. Um, despite having quite a few efforts on goal, you mean two
I
sevens
mean,
and you're only 80s from your goalkeeper, Alf? It's not what you want to see.
I don't know. What can I do with Shevchenko? This is he shouldn't be getting that sort of mark, should he? In any team.
No, is it the lack of wide men, Alf? He's
I
scored a lot of
tried. I
headed
tried.
goals in real life. I know you tried it for a few games, didn't you? I'm just throwing things out there that it might be.
Had half a dozen games going like it made no difference. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Alan
yeah.
Shearer, not a bad
Not the,
performance, really.
I think,
Yeah,
yeah, get some DMs for him, no doubt, or wanting them. Yeah, yeah.
fair enough.
Uh,
Shevchenko,
no,
6 to 15 passes, well, not great. And a 4-1 victory, best have a look and give some praise to the home side.
yeah,
Maybe a flattering man of the match for Matthias Kesman, considering both his goals and penalties. Henri with a 9 as well, that's really good. Assists from Robin and Oliver Nerville, who won that second penalty. I think that's his debut, Oliver Nerville. I don't think we've ever seen him in the Super League before. I think he was released pre-Super League last time. I think Ian's brought him up from the reserves. Not even been in the reserves. He's been in the first team all season, but not played. But he's come in, had a solid performance tonight, a 7, and got an assist. Van Bommel with the goal as well. I'll be happy with.
it's
Um,
not as though we didn't have chances, is it? I mean, they kept us at bay, didn't they? Quite well at the back, so we had chances in that one. It's just the defensive side. They played very well, and up front, yeah, front and back, yeah, it did
yeah,
me.
they've
Yeah,
done you. They've done you.
yeah, yeah. But there we are. That's what happens at the bottom. Same with
That,
Dragons.
yeah, when it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
Let's click continue, and now let's get ready to rumble. Was it windy? That's what I didn't look at the weather. Ian, I'm very clear. Steve Wright saying unlucky Alf, clinical from Ian, which is what was the difference maker. Hodgie's chat's been fucked apparently. He's back with it now. Alf Jens saying, are you going to complain about the referee on that one, Alf?
Who was he?
I don't know.
I
You had
don't
2
remember.
disallowed goals, though. So it's another thing. You get a couple of disallowed goals and a red card, you might complain about the referee.
Yeah, well, the referee is always right, Ryan.
Is he? Right.
So this-
Let's have a look at the away side here first. This is Spartak Slavs, who are in absolute great form at the minute. Have been all season, really, up in second of the league with a chance to go top. Um, I guarantee that near the top of your CM Scout list, there isn't a David Collins.
No, he's the bottom.
He's the bottom, is
Yeah,
he? So,
yeah.
considering that, and I'm pretty sure Zé Roberto's pretty naff on CM Scouts as well, then how do Sloths as an outfit line up overall, considering they've got 2 players which aren't pulling the ratings up?
75.63, which is pretty good. But if I put those 2 players in, it should be a lot higher than that. On the basis that they've been doing the job, haven't they? Yeah.
Yeah, Neil Scally's another one as well, which I'm going to click on here for a second. He's CM Scouts rating, but he's had a 7.71.
He's going to be legend. He's going to be CM Legends rather than CM Scouts, hasn't he? Really. So he's probably done the right thing there.
Yeah,
Going for,
the players.
to play the game on the Super League.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those 3 players, Collins, Scally, and Zeraberto, have been absolutely crucial to their season. They've also got 2 solid defenders in Gamara and Hornshaw. I think maybe go under the radar, as maybe they might not have the same kind of star power as Cannavaro and Ferdinand
Oh,
and
no.
Maldini, but they're really, really solid. Stefan Hornshaw, 2-time Super League winner. Actually, I think won it more than I think he won it with Phoenix twice. He won it with Haller back in the day. So he's, I
Yeah.
mean, he might not be a marquee name, Stefan Arnshaw, but he can definitely get the job done.
Yeah.
And
He's,
Gamara as well, obviously sometimes overlooked because of his age. He starts at 30-year-old, but absolutely rock solid in my opinion.
he's gone for proven Super League players, hasn't he? Really, rather than those that actually look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's move on from this one and have a look at the current league leaders. Montero's men. Obviously not changing much, as why would you change much when you're that good? 0-0 last time out though, and I think he's mentioned that. Am I right in saying that Mpenza hasn't scored in a few games now? So
Yeah.
not too many games, 3 games he's not scored in, but maybe not
Yeah.
firing in as much as he was. How do Swindon Devils stack up, Alf?
77.76. He's got probably the most highly rated players in the side. He's got about 5 rated about 80.
Who's
Um,
dragging it down then?
so yeah, yeah, and Montero. Dyer, Emerson, Ronaldo, Kewell, Ronaldinho rather, Kewell. Yeah, all 80s. So he's
Mhm.
got some top men in there and a mixture of some good performers as well. So it's no wonder he's at the top.
The main man, Paulo Montero, suspended. How much of a miss is he going to be?
Who's he got in?
He's gone with Christian Kivu, who's not played much this season, and Wes Brown, who's been solid enough, but he had a 5 last time out.
Yeah. Could make a difference. Could make a difference, but no, but he's still got a strong side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but I
still a
think we
strong
have said
side.
before. I think we have said before. Swindon's strength is in his actually plus 11. I think we said that before. So we'll have to see who
Yep.
is.
Barry
Win.
Ferguson's going to be captain. Based on your scout ratings and your knowledge, who do you
Well,
think is going to win this one?
I'm giving this one to Devils because he's doing so well. What Spartak had as well, haven't they? So should be close. But I'm giving it 2-0 to Devils this one.
The Sloth Boss is going 1 apiece. Jens is going 2-1 Devils. A 3-3 from Mr. Edwards. And Fife, as always, back in the opposition. Let's see how we get on. And this is our main event of the evening. 3-1 Devils. Dimble saying loves the 4DMs. Let's kick this off, and it started with a little bit of black and red, as it will continue because both teams have got black and red. Early goal for the away side, Alessandro Del Piero,
Oh,
which has been quickly equalled out by Thomas Gravison, and then the Devils have gone in front with that man, Big Baz Ferguson. Whoa, this game started at a pace, hasn't it? And it might slow down a little bit now as Emerson has gone off injured. And I'm just trying to look and
it's
see what he's got, what he can do to kind of replace this here.
a tricky one, isn't it?
Um,
Yeah.
Hodgie's gone for a 2-0 victory. That's not going to happen, mate, I'm afraid.
Have to
Um,
put.
Interesting to see what Fifey does here. I mean, you could switch things around about maybe put Kivu left
Just
wing back and Van Bronckhorst in the middle. What would you do here, Alf? What would you do?
It's probably just slots Norworthy in. No, probably. You can defend, can't he? So
Yeah.
yeah, and he is leading, isn't he? So he might want to hold on to that lead. I don't know, but see what Steve says. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what he's doing. He's brought Kuhl on at left wing back, Van Bronckhorst into the middle, and he's bringing big Arnold Brugink on a play you know quite a bit out of it, Alf. Let's see how that goes for him.
Yeah, I'd have gone more defensive, but there you are.
There you are, indeed. He's 2-1 up. Yeah, I don't think Fifey knows anything about defence, never has. All
No,
about the attack.
no.
um, Looks like both sides are having chances, though. There's Roberto involved, which generally means danger for the opposition. You need a goal from David Collins, I think, tonight to win this game, but the 2-1 down at half time in a very even game. Both teams with 4 shots on target. The action zone's pretty much level. A bit more possession for. It all started at first. Dyer slid in on Totti for an excellent tackle. It was picked up at Del Piero, who hit it in low and scored. Kewell lost it to Salhanovich, but Gravison picked up the ball and struck the ball with fury. Big Thomas Gravison, maybe an unlikely goal scorer. Let's have a quick look. Who did the other goal go in? Van Bronckhorst lit to Rodinho. Rodinho found Ferguson with the pass into the area. And Ferguson, odds on, doesn't miss when he is odds on. Quick look at Sloths first, Alf. Apart from Del Piero and Salihanovic, it's been a bit of a night to forget so far.
Yeah, the goalkeeper. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Yeah, the front three. Yeah, it's not been a great performance, has it? Really? No, not what you can say there. But he's still in the game, isn't he?
He's still in the game, and you'll see what Edmundo, the monkey man, does when he comes on. He definitely likes to shake things up a bit. He's coming on for Martin Palermo at half time. Obviously getting a 6 in the first half. He definitely needs to change those ratings from David Collins and a 6, and needs a little bit more possession from Zé Roberto to get back into this game, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Although the stats are relatively level, you look at the player ratings, and
yeah.
the Devils
typical
are definitely the better team here, aren't they?
typical Devils performance, that isn't it? Really, when you look at those marks, he's been getting those week in week out. Yeah,
Yeah,
consistent, very consistent, and you say that, don't you? Consistency is what managers always want.
that's what you
And
need.
he's got,
Kind of his
yeah,
midfielders as well doing the job tonight. Ronaldinho, Kuhl, and Penza. Not really involved that much, I don't think. But Thomas Gravison, the unlikely goal scorer, and Barry Ferguson, who does things. And yeah, I
yeah,
can understand why Fife is keeping it as is. However, I've noticed there that's a 16 condition there for Emerson, which may mean a couple of weeks out for him, and he's a key player for that for the Devils. So let's kick off the second half in dry conditions. Referee David Ogden. Let's see if the Devils can build on their lead or Slough can get back into it. Oh, Collins put one over the bar. De Roberto involved. They're the two players I mentioned at halftime and need to be in the second half for Slough to get back. No goals scored though. It looks like Ronaldinho is putting the game to bed for the Devils.
oh,
Exactly. And as I said, that he puts in his second in a couple of minutes, and it looks like it's all over now with 30 minutes to go. Um, yeah, it's all Devils at the moment, all Devils. And Ronaldinho doing bits is something that I like to say, wow, that is now five goals for Devils, and David Collins surely just gets a consolation there. Or was it?
oh,
Um, Francesco Totti has a dip over the bar. I wonder if Fifey got a little bit nervous there at 5-1 up and it got to 5-3. And yeah, what a game. 5-3. Devils.
yeah,
So, I mean, the both teams were relatively level. The Devils more clinical though on the night. Um,
yeah.
Swinging those bollocks, Fifey, according to Hodgie. Let's have a look. Ronaldinho free kick for the first one. Then Kieran Dyer assisted him for the second one. And then Mpenza knocked it down for Ferguson with the third one. And Collins picked up the ball from Salahamovic to get the consolation goal. And Del Piero fed Totti for the second consolation goal. Christian
Oh,
Abiati is the reason for this defeat, is he not? That's not bad ratings overall, is it?
that's pretty good. But when your keeper does that, yeah, there's nothing you can do. He's let the team down badly, hasn't he? Yeah,
Yeah, a
he,
10
he'll
for
get.
Del Piero.
Yeah, I think he'll get a fine for that, don't you, next week? Yeah,
Yeah, not good enough for a really solid racing source for Slough. I don't think there's too much to be downhearted by. Scally, Zeraberto picking up 8, Salahovic at 9, Del Piero 10, Totti, Collins both with goals, assists for Del Piero and Salahovic. No assist for Zeraberto, surprisingly. His defenders, who I was praising pre-game, have not covered themselves in glory, 2 6s, and then obviously Abiati having an absolute nightmare. Let's talk about the league leaders who've just cemented their spot at the top of the table. And
yeah.
that's a really, really solid performance, isn't it? Nearly a full team of 8s there.
This is what he does week in, week out, isn't it? Really, you rarely see him having 6s and 7s, do you? Very rarely. Um, all the players turned up. Um, yeah, yeah, excellent again. It's going to take some stopping, I think.
He is completely agree with Ronaldinho with 2 goals and an assist, gets a 10 and man of the match. That's the kind of Ronaldinho you need in this game to start
Yeah.
winning
Steve,
titles. Assists from Kieran Dyer and Mpenza. Mpenza definitely getting involved and getting an 8, even though he's not banging in the goals like he was. Thomas Gravison absolutely solid. Bruggen came on and did an okay job. And Christian Kivu's coming for the injured and Montero and maybe not covered himself in glory with the 3 goals conceded.
good
Interesting,
job.
basically. I mean, Abiati getting a 4 for conceding 5 goals, but you mean Sebastian Frere has not? I mean,
It,
he had less shots to deal with and conceded 3, and he got an 8, which is an interesting rating.
it's interesting. Cool dropped back to wing back, and he still did a good job. So that's something that Falky knows he can do again.
Zeroberto got an 8, 5 for out. Why he's asking that?
Mm.
Why did Marcel get dropped, Rob? Bad choice, unless he wasn't fit. Marcel, who's Marcel?
Albiati is one of the harder rated keepers as well in the game. Yeah, most
Mm,
yeah, most Most managers would want him.
Desai, yeah, Desai should be playing in my opinion. He's a great player. Um,
Yeah.
but there we are. The Devils have done
Yeah.
it.
Well, it's a correct result for the last two were correct results, weren't they, for the Scouts? So they came good in the end.
Came good in
But,
the end, even with a shaky
in the
start.
end. Yeah, but really, it looks to me as though the Super League legends are the ones you want, really. Yeah.
Definitely looks that way, doesn't it? So a quick look through the results of the night. So we've got an early away win for Bostock Stanley. Apart from that, it was 5 out of 6 home victories. Gazelles beating Fulchester, Leddersford beating Churchtown, but Locomotive beating Dragons, Northern Burn beating Aster Athletic, and the Devils with an absolute spectacular at home to the Sloths, a 2-2 draw between Haggis and Hools, which probably suited Hools more than Haggis in my opinion. Let's have a look at what that's done for the table. And it's looking at that, it's kind of pulled Fulchester back into the mix a bit now. The Devils got to that magical 40-point mark, so it looks like he's making his first ever playoff appearance, and the pressure's being kept on by Greavesy in second. Disappointing result for the Sloths, but I mean, I think they'll be relatively happy with where they are at this point in the season. Sorry, Leddersford was the third win in the trap, but still only in the playoff by 1 point as Gazelles and Bostock won. Churchtown, Haggis, and Dudley Hill now 6 points behind Leddersford. 6 games to go. Needs something to turn up relatively quick. If them three are going to get back into it. Dudley Hill conceding too many goals there, really, aren't they? 37. It's the second most behind Dragons, who are down at the bottom with yourselves adrift from the rest of the bunch. Where do you think the kind of line is now, Alf? Do you think these guys in 11th, 10th, 9th, 10th, 11th, do they still got a chance, or are they out of it
It's
now?
looking like the top six will stay to me.
Is
Yeah.
it? So you're saying that top six will
I'm feeling it could stay that way. Yeah. More or
right.
less. More or less that way. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you might fancy Bostock. I was in Gazelles. They're two kind of big ratings there.
But yeah. Yeah. But yeah. I don't think it's not going to be a lot of change. Can't see it. It's about 6 games though. Quite a
Yeah.
way to go. And of course, you can change your squad, can't you, next week?
Yes, of course. You can change your squad for next week. You can bring in players from the reserves. Be a big thing for a few teams who've been wanting to do that. I know Kieran is looking to change a few players with his reserves. Yourself as well. Been asking questions about it.
Yep.
Let's have a quick look at next week's fixtures, or it might be midweek fixtures. I think for a few of these teams in 10th, 11th, 12th, sorry, 9th, 10th, 11th, it's the kind of last chance saloon. You're at home to Dudley Hill. Alf, confident for that one? They're not in the best of
Well,
form.
with about maybe 6 new players in the side, we're looking to do a bit better. We've got
Congratulations to Fife. He might not have that playoff next to his name, but he's definitely, I think, in pole position now. It's definitely for a playoff spot, if not for maybe going for the top spot in the league. It's a bit of a grudge match between the Margates or the Monza boys as Bostock take on Haggis. Obviously, Haggis will be looking to keep their playoff charge going and then bounce back tonight with a victory. Bostock won tonight. They'll be looking to keep that going and keep the pressure on Leddersford and Fulchester. Churchtown probably need a victory at home to Northern Burn to get their season back going again. They've been unlucky tonight against Leddersford. Northern Burn obviously had a good result tonight, 4-1 at home to yourself, Sal. So they've had a bit of an upturn in form as the season's gone on.
Probably don't want to play them at this stage now.
No. Dragons v Sloths. So if you're Spartak Sloths and you've just taken a 5-3 defeat, you'd be looking at who I got next week only to bounce back, and you've got Dragons. So they'll be happy with that, will they?
Yeah. Yeah. They could go off the bottom, couldn't they? Dragons, if they win that one.
Yeah, is that something you're worried about?
No, not really. No, Good luck to him if he does.
Good luck to him indeed. Quick look at the other games. Fulchester at home to Locomotive Boston. Fulchester obviously a different animal at home than they are away from home. Locomotive had a good victory tonight. Hools versus Gazelles. Now that Hools are kind of, do you mean they're in
Yeah,
the playoffs, but they're not safe in the playoffs, are they? So, do you mean if Gazelles manage to turn them over, that kind of definitely does tighten things up again. It definitely will bring Hools back into the mix. I think there's definitely some legs in this yet. I know you might think that that top six is set, but I'm not convinced. I must admit, I'm not convinced.
right.
What you call it, Lettersford versus the Devils. So Lettersford on the back of 3 victories now go
Yeah,
against the league leaders. Maybe not what Hodgie wanted to see at this point, but maybe Fifey might start resting some players now he's got to 40 points. Can be a brave thing to do because you don't want to hit bad form, but there we are.
no, no,
We're
no.
quite
But
early.
the one that must be worried there is Macker. He's not scoring goals, is he? And he's
He's not been
yeah,
all season.
not scoring
Uh,
since that three. Yeah, yeah,
you look at Fulchester, and you mean there's
yeah,
only Churchtown and Dudley Hill who've scored
mm,
less goals than Fulchester. I
yeah,
mean, he's relatively solid at the back as well, one of the best defences in the league,
yeah.
if
He is
not the
there.
best defence
Yeah,
in the league. But yeah,
yeah.
I mean, got a plethora of people to choose from as well. Rossini, Owen, Saviola, but none of them doing the business. I think got Vasiliuk as well. Um,
Yeah,
we're a little bit early, Alf, so let's have a look at some stats quickly.
right.
The form table puts Northern Burn at the top, which is incredible. Obviously, we can see the Devils up there and the Hools as well. Down at the bottom, you've got yourselves down there, 3 defeats on the spin. Churchtown, 1 draw and another defeat again tonight. Dragons with 1 win, then back to losing ways. Um, Bostock maybe a little bit harshly down, that being that low down with 2 wins and a draw. Um,
Mm,
Colchester 3 wins out of 5, but got beat tonight. Interesting, interesting. Stop laughing, Ryan. What's he mean? Enjoyed 85% of it, so you enjoyed all but your own game. That's interesting. Average attendance. So the league leaders have had the best attendance so far. Not much going on at the at Aster. Our lowest attendance there so far.
the fans don't like what they see there, do they?
No, you're only 33 people missing though, away from a full house. Um, Fulchester, obviously, we just talk about the different animal at home. They've won the last 5 at home, and they've lost the last 5 away. That is a really interesting stat. And you look at, I mean, Lettersford are the team, and 2 wins away from home. Basically, the last 5 away games there to get 8 points. Can't complain at that away from home. Same for Swindon as well. Um,
Mm,
Lettersford 3 wins on the spin. Aster with 3 defeats on the spin. Hull's gone 4 without getting beat. Let's up in that one. Churchtown now 6 without a victory. It's a tough one.
yeah, he had a good run, didn't he, Churchtown as well? One
Yeah,
time.
their thing. I'll click on it in a minute, but they've been up and down, up and down. It's been crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, Swindon just scoring goals. Neil Yellen, just seen the slosh results, and I'm lighting cigars with 50 quid notes to celebrate whilst teabagging a picture of Rob's face. Happy Sunday, all. Absolutely love it. Oh, it's Neil's Rocks, isn't it? I get mixed up. Evening Rocks, how you doing, mate? um, conceded Fulchester, the meanest defence in the league. Penalties, Spartak, Sloss, and Northern Burn both scored 3, although Spartak have had 4. Devils and Gazelles are good from corners. Dragons from indirect free kicks. I think Bostock direct free kicks. No, I'm wrong. Only got 1. Swindon Devils again. Ronaldinho, the main man there. Dudley Hill, the yellow card boys, dirty bastards. They're Bostock being the nice guys of the league.
yeah.
And Haggis Hunters, 5 red cards, and yourself and Gazelles have had 4 as well. Not
Does
doing
it say who
yourself
the
any
four are,
favours.
Ryan? Does it say who
Pardon?
the Aster four are?
Sorry, Alf.
Does it say who they are, the four?
No, we could probably find out though, couldn't we?
No, no, I just wondered, I have a feeling the same players. more than one. Yeah, no,
How do we check that? Da-da-da.
no, I just wondered. No,
I shouldn't be looking at this anyway on screen, so I'll go back.
no, it's all right. It's okay. You know, I thought it would have gone straight on it, but no, there's some disciplinary problems there, isn't there?
Zeriberto, Kieran Dyer have been up there all season and continue to be up there, as is Johan Vogel. Thierry Henry, that'll be giving you nightmares, Alf, wouldn't it, to see he's fourth in the average rating, considering after letting him go.
Yeah. So that was a mistake. I was too hasty there when I dropped him back to attacking midfielder. I thought he couldn't do a job there, so that was a mistake. Can do a job there or up front. Yeah,
He played in centre midfield tonight as well and did the job, so he can do a job all over.
yeah, he did. Yeah.
Looking at looking at the ever-present players there, you've got Dyer, I'm not going to go through them all, but Shevchenko has been ever-present for you, Alf, even though he's not been the best performer this season. A lot of goalkeepers
Yeah,
in there, as you'd expect.
yeah.
Top goal scorers, Collins starting to chase down Mpenza. We said that was done and dusted a couple of weeks ago, but Collins and Clive again scored tonight, and Mpenza doesn't, so that may be tightening up a little bit. Nothing stats these really. Zero
No,
Berto as 16 out. That one's well and truly over with. Look at the red cards. So there's no one apart from Jan Cheddar got two out.
What a bit late.
Sorry.
Yeah, Gina Cheddar too. Hmm. 2 red cards. Right. No, that'd be one. No, that's surprising.
It is indeed. Who's been picking up the bookings? Davids with 10 for Dudley Hill. Obviously must have had a couple of suspensions there. What else has been going on? Nicky Butt, Roy Keane, kind of as you'd expect. Montero only on 5. That may be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah,
16th of February, they've got this week's team of the week there. Oliver Kahn and Exabrier in there. Ronaldinho, as you'd expect. Pancaro, a bit of a strange one. Didn't think he did too much this week, but fair enough, fair enough.
it's nice to see Seaman there. He let in 4 goals.
He did, yeah. That's an interesting one. Oh, God. Don't look at this, Brian. Don't look at this. Right, okay, we're going to leave it there, Ralph. So, and thank you to absolutely everyone who's been involved in the comms. Great to have everyone in it. Great to see so many people about and still 17 people on after all the games are finished. Thanks a lot to everyone getting involved. Mega Horse, obviously, Fifey's up there, top of the league, swinging his dick, so he'll be happy out. Thank you so much, Alf. You've been absolutely fantastic as always on comms.
Right, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Just thought of the scout ratings have actually proved nothing, have they? So,
Yeah.
there, yeah, it's quite a bit of fun, really, wasn't it? I just wanted to see how it turned out.
Aye. Well, thank you very much, Al. Thank you very much to everyone, and I shall see you all in the week.
Thanks, Ryan.